Hi, this is Dan Cortopassi of TSG Multimedia, and today I'm reviewing an HO scale Athearn Genesis SD40M-2. This represents one of the units Southern Pacific acquired in the 1990s that were rebuilt from older diesels. In this particular case, this unit was rebuilt from an SDP45. Some of these lasted into the Union Pacific era, so they would be appropriate for any time from the 90s on up. My example is the DC version. It has a retail price of $189.98. The model is also available with DCC and sound for $289.98. The model is extremely detailed. I checked it out against photos of the real 8694 and it looks to be pretty spot on. All of the paint is very crisp. There are a few small voids in the white on the Southern Pacific on the side, but they pretty much correspond to the door panel seams, so I don't think that's a big deal. All of the little warning labels and things like that are legible with magnification. The cab windows are repositionable, although I found that they're so loose that they tend to just slide around all the time. The truck detail is really nice. I really like the speed recorder detail. I like how some of the axles have a different style of journal, something that was common on these units. The model includes plastic knuckle couplers on both ends. Both of the couplers were slightly high. The ditch lights and headlights are illuminated with bulbs. The model has a full complement of MU hoses and uncoupling levers. At first I thought that the uncoupling levers on the front were mounted crooked, but actually after studying photos of the prototype, that's exactly the way the real engine was. Athearn has done a good job capturing the brake wheel detail, which was unique to these units. On my unit, the rear view mirror on the fireman's side was loose. The back of the unit is simpler, but also very well detailed and matches prototype photos. SDP45s had a couple of different styles of rear ends, and this was the type that's appropriate for this particular SP engine. I really like the thinness of the step that would be used to go from this unit to another. The chain detail is also really nice, and it actually has links that you can see through. The model has see-through fans, separately applied lift rings, and very good detail overall on the top. I especially like the antenna with the conduit exposed on the roof. The air conditioner also looks really good. I like how they've slightly weathered the grille on it to make it look a little more used. The model picks up electricity from all 12 wheels. All 6 axles are powered. All of the wheels were in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. The model weighed in at 20.6 ounces and has an incredible 4.7 ounce drawbar pull, which is the highest I think I've ever measured on an HO scale diesel. One thing I wanted to mention that wasn't quite clear in the instructions is if you want to take the model apart, you have to remove the couplers, that's 2 screws, and they also talk about these 2 screws at either end of the fuel tank, which you do have to remove, but they don't talk about removing the fuel tank itself, which you have to do first because otherwise the fuel tank detail prevents you from getting a screwdriver on these other screws. So the sequence would be remove this and then remove these 2, and then the body will pop off if you want to install a decoder. So I have the model running on DC since it's a DC engine. It's very smooth and quiet. Looks like it's capable of pretty good low speed too. Okay, so since this is a DC engine, I'm having to hold it while I'm running it to show you the lights. They are bulbs, and they're not especially bright, but they do operate. And they are directional. The lights come on in the front when it's going forward and in the back when it's going backward. Overall, I really like this model. It's one of the nicest out-of-the-box diesels I've seen in a long time. It's got good prototype-specific detail, and it's a good runner. I'm going to have to take off 1 spike for the coupler height being too high. But other than that, I think it's an excellent model, so I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 spikes. If you or your company make a product that you'd like us to review, please drop us a line at reviews@tsgmultimedia.com.